Hello friends, it's Alina, and in this video we'll be talking about the 5 things you need to know all around this August 2021 full moon in Aquarius. So if that's something that interests you, then let's get started. What is up, y'all? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. In this video, we're going to be diving into this blue moon and full moon in the sign of Aquarius happening on the 22nd or 21st, depending on your time zone. We're going to be talking about the transits surrounding it, how we might energetically feel during this time. I'll explain what exactly a blue moon is. And at the end, as always, I'll offer some customized journal writing prompts to help us better align with the energy of this full moon. And before we dive in, I have a quick announcement. One of them is that I have a brand new playlist called Timeless Meditations, where I have added almost all of my previous full and new moon meditations and have edited out the introductions so that when you tap on them, it goes straight into the meditation and you can enjoy them in the morning, evening, whenever you like. And I can finally announce that the 2022 HeyAlinaAlive astrology planners, which are my creation that I make every year, they will be available for pre-order within the next month. I don't know the exact date yet. It will likely be during the next full moon, but if you are somebody who has been waiting for this and wants to claim yours before they sell out, because they have literally sold out every year, click the link in the description for the HeyAlinaAlive website to sign up for our newsletter. I don't spam y'all. I only announce when things are released. And with all of that said, let's dive in. First things first, why is this full moon so important? As many of y'all already know, the full moon is seen as a culmination point. It can oftentimes be almost like a cosmic spotlight illuminating what has and hasn't been working for us. And just as we see the light building in the sky until its peak brightness, that being on the date of the full moon, so too can clarity, energy, momentum around things that we might have started, or even things that we might need to change what has and hasn't been working for us, become more clear to us. Full moons are seen as a time where people are more out and about, there's higher energy, but there can also be higher emotions as the moon is known to rule that aspect of our lives. Full moons are also seen as a time where we might experience bursts of inspiration and clarity around different aspects of our lives. We might feel more inspired to change things around in our home, our schedule, and even our communities. And with this full moon falling in the very innovative, thought-provoking sign of Aquarius, there is a potential for this full moon to amplify change, creativity, and help us when it comes to being more progressive with changes in our communities. And as you may or may not know, all full moons occur when the moon and sun form an opposition between one another. This results in both astral bodies being placed on opposite sides of the zodiac wheel. That being with the sun being in the sign of Leo, as we are in Leo season, and the moon being in the sign of Aquarius. So every full moon we experience a dichotomy and many themes surrounding how we balance two different energies. And with this August full moon, we see the sun in the sign of Leo being intensely individualistic, proud, and not being content with being just a part of the team. And we have the moon in Aquarius, which also values independence, but brings in an energy of collaboration, community building, and information exchange. So this can be a really interesting time for exploring that within ourselves. How do we balance thinking for ourselves and being critical of the good and bad in life in our community, while also working to improve upon it and not fully isolate ourselves from society at large? Next, what exactly is a blue moon? So there are 2 definitions for a blue moon. One is a seasonal blue moon, which happens every 3rd full moon of a season that has 4 full moons in total. And that is a blue moon that we're experiencing in August. The second is a monthly blue moon, which occurs when there is a 2nd full moon in one calendar month where there are 2 full moons. That is kind of where the saying comes from, once in a blue moon, because seeing 2 full moons in one month is relatively rare. So there's not necessarily any energetic significance to the blue moon, but it's very interesting to note. Next, what transits will impact this full moon? First, we will have Jupiter, which is currently in retrograde and also in the sign of Aquarius, conjuncting with the full moon. Now, Jupiter is a planet of broader purpose, reach, and possibility. It's a planet of good luck, optimism, and growth. And with this conjunction, Jupiter will definitely be expanding everything we touch, which is why this can be an optimal time for further manifestations. This can be as encompassing as a full moon ritual, or as simple as writing things out and remembering what your overall goals are, maybe for the season or the year. Either way, with this conjunction with the full moon, there will definitely be clarity around where it is that we would like to expand into. We might notice opportunities that pop up around our personal, spiritual, and even material growth. This can be areas having to do with travel, relationships, expanding things when it comes to finances. Conversely, we also see the sun in the sign of Leo opposing Jupiter in the sign of Aquarius. Now, this can bring in potential of over-optimism, greed, and immorality. So it will be very important to think critically when it comes to new opportunities and really gauge whether or not they are for you and whether or not your heart is in the right place if you decide to utilize that opportunity. Next, we have Venus, the planet of love and relationships, trining Saturn, the planet of persistence, ambition, and structure. Now, this is an ideal transit for finding true love and commitment. And remember, a trine aspect between two astral bodies signifies energetic alignment and synchronicity. So for newer relationships just forming around this time, it could be an indicator of something long-lasting. And for existing relationships, this can be an optimal time for enjoying bonding times and getting real with each other through clear communication. And finally, we have Mars, the planet of assertiveness and aggression, trining with Uranus, the planet of innovation, progress, and expansion. Now, this transit can definitely bring in things like initiative, excitement, and adventure, bringing in more confidence to put ourselves out there, to offer ideas around innovation, to lend our skills for the greater communities. Next, what should we expect to feel? For many of us, full moons can be an energizing time where we find ourselves being called to be more out and about, connect with other people, community members, friends, loved ones, exchange ideas. As well, like mentioned at the beginning of this video, the full moon can be a culmination point where we see the fruits of our labor coming forward. But that's not for everyone. Some people might feel more tired. Some even empaths might experience the heightened energy and emotions and want to retreat to make sure that you're holding space for your own energy. Regardless of if anything that I just mentioned resonates with you during full moons or this one, it will always be important to be careful. As we notice that emotions can run high, this can be a time where a lot of shadow work might be coming into play for people. And so holding space for your emotions and others, if you so choose, will be very important. As well, get ready for some clarity and to maybe experience connecting some dots in different aspects of your life. Thanks to this moon being in Aquarius, we might experience some mental breakthroughs when it comes to how we approach things and looking at things from different angles, seeking different opinions, and feeling more energized to try a different approach. Next, how do we harness this energy? It's important to know that with Aquarius energy, it's all about thinking outside of the box, looking and holding space for different perspectives, and avoiding having black and white thinking. Right now, at least in the States and in many parts of the world, there's a lot of polarization going on. And it's very important to not get pulled by the currents of being too far one way or the other, because as many of us know on our spiritual practice, it's never just one perspective or another. We are all humans having human experiences. And most of the time, we all see the same problems. We're just going about them in different ways. And our core approach to most things is keeping one another safe. So it's important to consider those things, extend empathy, and look at different ways that we can help our broader community rather than just ourselves. And finally, let's get into these journal writing prompts. If you have your 2021 Align Planner, I invite you to flip on over to the full moon page so you can journal along with us. So as always, I will go ahead and project the journal prompts on the screen. And when you see them, I invite you to pause the video, write them out, and when you're done, we'll come back. Is there anything that you're ready to release during this full moon? What do you associate with the phrase, giving back to your community? In what ways has honest communication helped you to grow? you believe in the concept of soulmates? Why or why not? All right, y'all, I hope you enjoyed those writing prompts. I'm gonna go ahead and answer one or two of them to kind of spark some conversation and give y'all some life updates. So what I associate with giving back to my community, I associate that with growing up, going to food drives, Thanksgiving, offering, Thanksgiving meals to people and things like that. And one distinct memory that I have that I feel called to share with y'all was something that I learned at this panel talk. I went to this music festival that had panels during the day, and there was a panel of speakers who were land protectors from the Dakota area where that XL Dakota pipeline was. That always stuck with me. And this woman, they asked her, what should we do to give back to our community, to the world, to the planet, to the country, when there's so much going on all the time? And I feel like right now, present day, there's also so much going all the time. And she said, pick a cause. Pick one thing that you feel deeply called towards, or maybe not, that you've been just curious about, and give some energy to that one thing. So when I heard that, that really resonated with me, and it made me realize that one cause that I really feel called towards is Black Women for Wellness, which is a nonprofit organization here in Los Angeles that helps African American women get access to healthy and clean food, offers free resources when it comes to nutrition and holistic health education. And it's just something that really resonates with me. So I'm gonna be linking their website down below. And if you also feel called to get into something like that, there it is. But the moral of the story is, I feel like we can be so overwhelmed with all the things going on in the world. There are so many people that need help. There are so many issues going on. There are our own issues that are going on in our own lives as well. I feel like, the whole indigo child thing, the whole, a lot of people talking about how our generation, millennials, Gen Z, really being the people that are going to be able to heal the world. I think that we've been kind of sold a lie through social media and probably by corporations, funding stuff like that, that we can do that in isolation. And I just really think that we need each other. And that involves connecting with other community members, connecting with other human beings, and not just necessarily sharing things for awareness, but looking at the other aspects of activism, if that is something that you feel called towards. I'm kind of going on a whole thing, but I just felt the need to say that. There is so much power in, rather than spreading our energy everywhere, choosing one cause and giving our energy steadily, consistently, in a sustainable way to that area. All right, y'all, if you made it to the end of this video, I invite you to comment 3 red heart emojis. Very simple. But if you do comment that, it'll let me know that you made it to the end of this video. And if you don't want to comment that, maybe comment if any of these journal prompts resonated with you, or if you might have already been feeling any of this full moon energy, any of these transits. But either way, when you engage with my work, it is so deeply appreciated. And finally, don't forget to sign up for the newsletter from the Auraline website, which is linked in my video, or go to auralineshop.com so you'll be the first to know when pre-orders are open, so you can claim these planners before they sell out. I will see y'all in the next one, and I will end this with my favorite quote, which is, be gentle with yourself, because life is about the journey and not the destination. All right, I'll see you on the next one.